Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes Weekly Webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today from our friends at Ciao I have Yellowstone Junk Journal and Ephemera book. This is so much fun, you guys. There's so much great art in here. If you're a card maker, a scrapbooker, junk journaler, this one is for you. We also have a giveaway, you guys. This is our giveaway card for this episode, so if you stick around to the end, you'll learn how one lucky viewer can win this card to keep or share with a friend. So come play with us. All right, let's take a flip through Yellowstone Junk Journal and Ephemera book. You're getting 160 images for junk journal, collage, scrapbooking, card making, and paper crafts. 32 pages. Okay, it's printed on 140 GSM acid lignin free. GSM is the weight of the paper. Also 4 transparent adhesive pages. This is one of those transparent adhesive pages. It's a giant sticker sheet, you guys. So I like to take my little titanium covered scissors and I just sort of take a big chunk out of whichever thing I want to cut out. And then once it's out of the book, then I detail cut around that. I'll be using these on some cards shortly. And then we've got all of these great little elements. I love this. And then this one was so fun to work with, whether you're a Western person or not. It's just a great time. So I love all of the gorgeous horses. I don't know anything about horses. I just know they're beautiful. So we've got lots of picket fence, sunflowers, lots of animals, lots of horses and wolves and deer and elk. Look at the beautiful all over scenes here. The wildflowers are absolutely gorgeous. The bison. And then all of the little, I love these words. Sometimes the road leads nowhere, and that's exactly where you're meant to be. And then all the tools, the antlers, chopping wood, the wheat, the pine cones, even just little buttons to cut out, stacks of hay. Another sticker sheet here, adhesive sheet. Okay, we've got our farmhouse, a little dock over a stream, lots of wildflowers, lots of little photos to add. Beautiful little scenes here. Another little farmhouse, chickens. Okay, and then there's little people that you can sort of cut out around. And if those things challenge you, I'm going to be showing you quite a few uses for those today. All right, and you've got your cups of coffee and your mugs here, and then just elements that you can just cut out like a card topper, just like this. Beautiful scenes. These little strips of rope are great borders. I used some of those I'll be showing you. There you've got Old Faithful. And then all this fantastic, just little elements. I love just all the little things, you know, like a cardinal and a key and just barn wood. All right, and then here, these are just all over larger sheets of the clear adhesive sheets. I'm going to show you how to use those as well. Okay, more gorgeous cutouts. Chickens, cows, geese, raccoon, foxes, what, groundhog? What are those things? Prairie dogs? Okay, these little elements are cute to cut out, and then another border. All right, I used this image on a card. I'm going to show you shortly. Just the little girl, the basket of fruit, the dog. Okay, this paper was gorgeous. And then all of these fantastic flowers. And then we've got another adhesive sheet here. And then I love it when they have these fold outs, okay? The very end of the book. It's a really a nice weight cardstock. And you've got all this signage and an owl. And then this one is a little pocket that you can fold up, a frame that you can cut out. And then this one over here is another pocket, okay? So fantastic. I'd say that the rest of this is a nice weight of cardstock, okay? But this back is the same weight as the cover, and it's much thicker, okay? Let's just jump into a card. We're going to be putting one together with all the little bits. We're going to make a Father's Day card. So this is a 6.5 by 5 inch card. already started on this one, and I took one of the all over the scenes. Let me grab which one I used here. Of course, it's not the one I'm looking at. This one. All right, so I loved this horse in the background. So I plunked my card down right here because I wanted to get some of the grassland and some of the sky. Just like that. Save that for another whole card. And then I took this piece right here, which is some of the like grasses and things like that. I'm not going to hunt too hard for that one. They're kind of all over. Anyway, I just cut around the piece, and then I inked the edges of that with cocoa bean and the blender just to give it some shading. I glued it to extend off of the edge of the card and then trimmed that. Then I took those little strips of rope that I was talking about, and I cut one of those out and really thin, and I glued it about a ½ inch from the card top. And then I took, this is Gold Pearl oval border dazzle stickers. They come in 1, 2, 3 different sizes. I'm going to show you the largest one, and they just are, they almost look like a necklace to me. They're so beautiful. And I added those just above the rope. Now I also have this piece right here, which is the frame that I cut out here, okay? And then this guy I cut out, there's a whole page that has men here. Cut him out from this page. It's right across from that page. All right, inked the edges of the guy, and then I glued him to the bottom back of the frame, and then the top front of the frame is securing this guy. And then I took little strips of foam tape, and we love our giant wheel of foam tape. It's 150 feet or 50 yards of ½ inch wide continuous foam tape. I just took my scissors and I cut it down the middle just to make it a little thinner, and I put strips straps all the way around the frame. And my plan is to make a Father's Day card. All right, and we're just going to tack that down right over that rope right there. And then you guys, I've got this little dog that I thought was so cute. Cut him out. Notice I'm not trying to cut right up against leaving no border. I'm definitely leaving a border of white around that, and then just taking my blender tool and then just adding that little brown edge just softens that edge. Got a little foam tape on the back of that, and I'm just putting the dog so that the foam tape is going to land right here. So he's overlapping the frame, just like that. And then I've got just some things like some boots, some sunflowers, this little gauge I cut out. And then I've got this little thing that says, "A little dirt never hurt." And that spoke to me because that is something my dad would have absolutely said. So we're going to put that little foam tape on the back of that. I inked the edges. I tore these out. So first I cut them out, and then I just made little tears all the way around. And I don't want to get in the way of that horse, so I'm going to leave him right there. And then we've got the sunflowers, which I think would be cool just to put right over here, just like that. And then we've got this gauge and the boots. The gauge I'm going to glue, and the boots I am going to foam tape. I've got all these little foam tape backs everywhere. Okay, for glue, you guys, we have multiple kinds of glue, and I'm going to show you which ones I'm using. Cosmic Shimmer Specialist Acrylic Glue dries clear and it's flexible. Also Nuvo Deluxe Clear Drying Craft Glue. They're paper glues. They work great for paper, but they're also all around great craft glues. And the Nuvo glue is in 2 sizes. Okay, so if you want to start off with a little bottle and try it out. And I'll put all of these down below the video in the description box if you're watching us on our Paper Wishes webisode page. And if you're watching us on YouTube, just look below the video in the description box and you'll see a link that'll take you to this Paper Wishes webisode page. I put my glue in a little applicator bottle because I like the little tiny amounts that it puts out. I'm just going to add that right there, and then my boots are going to go right there. So that's basically a little collage layering for you and a really easy way to do that. So, and then I added this little tiny words and phrases dazzle sticker in black, and that's the one that says Dad. And that was right here, and also listed down below the video. All right, so I like how that one turned out. Now let's do another one. This is for Sun, okay? So Just For You comes from our new sticker collection called Just For You. Or is it Just For You or Thinking of You? Yeah, this is called Just For You. And it has all these fantastic greetings on it. Okay, actually I think you can see it better if you look at the brown one. There we go. Pause to read. And then I used the black one because I wanted to pair it with the word Sun from the Family and Friends Dazzle stickers, rather. Did I call them Tiny Words and Phrases before, or Dazzle sticker? Anyway, these are black Family and Friend Dazzle stickers. Okay. There. So Just For You, and then added Sun to that. This is a 5x7 tent fold card. All right, but I put the fold at the bottom edge, and I'm going to show you why in just a second. Okay, so the first thing I did, I jumped ahead on the stickers. The first thing I did was use this great paper with this border over the top of it. Here we go. I used this one on my 5x7 card. The fold is at the bottom, and I placed it right in the center because I really wanted to get lots of this element there. All right, covered my card, inked the edges, okay, then added my little sticker greeting right there. Then I took a little strip of white cardstock. You could use brown, craft color, whatever you've got. And I made this little flap, you guys, and it's about, let's see, I added about 5.5 inches long, and it's about 1.5 inch wide. And I just left about 1 inch of it on this side so that it flips over. And then I took one of those little farmhouses and I inked the edges of that white paper, and then I glued that farmhouse right there. So now it's coming around what would be the front of the card. See how it's opening? And then I also added the gloves, the coffee cup, and the cowboy hat right there so that it's hidden behind the house. And then some of this beautiful paper right there. And then when you tip this down, I have something here I'm going to be adding. You have this nice little pocket. First, this cutout that's right here, which is easy because it's above or it's below this one. So I added this cutout right here. Then this is the pocket from the very back. Okay, that's right here. Scoreboard is nice to use with that. Cut it out, score those flaps down, add a little extra sticky tape, double stick tape to the back of those flaps. Ink the edges of both of these and then secure that right there to the top of the card. Added another strip of this paper torn to the top edge. And then we've got some lovely copper dazzle stickers, these borders. They come in 2 thicknesses, a wide and then a thin one. I added one of the thins at the top. And then just some other little elements, like a little 5-cent cutout there. Here's a little piece, a tag that I actually foam taped, a button right here. This is a great place to add another little note or a gift card, okay, which I forgot to add, but this is from the sticker collection, Just For You. Here is one of those sheets of the clear adhesives, the adhesive back, okay? And I wanted to talk to you about how you add this because it's such a large sticker and that can be a little bit intimidating. So I'm just going to be using it as my background. So I'm going to peel it just like this. And you've noticed I've cut it down so that there's a border all the way around. And then I'm just going to go like this. I'm going to place it right there. Okay, kind of smooth it out, and then we're just going to pull down, just like that, and then go like this. Okay, so keep that backing sheet on there. Don't try to take it off and then set it down. It was just a mess. I tried that before and it's awful. Then I just took a little square of white cardstock. I inked the edges brown. I put some more of these copper straight line dazzle stickers, the top and the bottom. Inked the edge of this dude, and he's kind of just extending off of the edge. We're going to foam tape that because you can't write on this background paper. I just wanted to put an additional little piece right there so you have a nice little spot to say hello. So when you open your card, you know, you're getting something a little different with that. So that flaps up and that flaps up. I feel like this is easy to operate. So when you're gifting it to somebody, they're like, how do you open this thing? Oh, okay. It's pretty easy to understand, and everything just flips down. So another kind of Father's Day or birthday card, you could change this out to son, husband, father, uncle. Got all kinds of greetings on that collection. All right, we've got another one here for you guys. This one for the girls, cute little cutout right here. And I've got a little die cut card here for you, or a little card made from a cutting die rather. And I'm using Tri-Fold Surprise card cutting die. Okay, it looks just like this. All right, and when you cut this out like this, then you're just folding those lines like that, those score lines. And then what I did was I cut this same shape out again, just this part. I just took some of this beautiful paper from the book and I put it right here, and then I ended up just cutting it out just this little bit. Then I just took my paper trimmer and I cut 1/4 of an inch off this side and 1/4 inch off the bottom, and then inked the edges, and that's how you get this cut piece that fits so nicely inside. This green paper that I'm using is from Pansy Notes solid cardstock. Okay, use this nice green color. And then this is a little scrap from one of the other projects. I believe it's leftover sky from this card. And ink the edges of that, place that right there. Here's one of the little cutout stickers. Okay, inked the edges of this and added that to the top edge. I wanted something in the corner here that kind of gave me a landing spot for this little person. So I used these 3.5 inch craft colored doilies, inked the edges with brown, and then I literally just glued it right there and then trimmed it even with the card. Then this one I cut out, inked the edges, foam taped that, and then glued the cardinal. Then cut out another little piece just to fit in these little boxes. Right there, inked the edges. Right here is another little cutout. Here's another little cutout. Here's some feathers, and I cut those out, inking the edges. And then right there on the corner, wanted to pick up some of the reds in all of this. So I'm using some red, shiny red Jewel Dazzle stickers and just added them in a little group of 3 there and there. Just a really easy card. So there's a nice little place for you to write your greeting here, or you can also use the back. Okay, so that is a fun cutting die. All right, so I also have for you guys journal page. We love a journal page, and of course, this being a junk journal book, those of you who love to scrapbook, love to do journal pages, mixed media journals are awesome. We have several different kinds that I'll list down below the video. So on this one, you guys, oops, here we go. I've kind of gotten a head start on this one. So here's the start of my journal. I did a little stenciling first. The stencil that I used is actually a slimline stencil. It's kind of initially used for slimline cards, but I thought, why not? We're going to use this one. Okay, it's from hot off the press. And there is a way that I would caution you to use this. So you're going to set it down right there on your journal. Okay, the journal lays flat, which is really nice. And then you're just going to take it and you're going to use that same cocoa bean and that blender, and then you're going to apply it like this. Here's the thing, when you apply it, I've got to get my little blender sponge on there correctly. When you apply it, I want you to go just up and down. You're going to hold it, you're going to tape it in place. Ooh, I shouldn't have dropped it. There's a big circle on there now. So yeah, don't make a big circle on yours. And then you're just gonna go in one direction. Because if you start going like this, these little things right here just kind of all flit apart. You know, you don't want that. You just wanna go up and down on this, okay? Makes it so much easier. All right, so I did that and then just moved it over. So I did it right here. And then I went long on the edges, on the outside edges, and then just short amount on the top and at the bottom, leaving this really nice space. So then once I finished here, I just moved it over and then I lined up the edge like that. So it was aligned, and then I just finished. And then I went all the way around. So I just moved it like this across the page, okay? So then, here's one of the little cutouts. Here is a sticker feather. Here's one of the little cutouts here of a horseshoe. I foam taped this one. I added some copper Jewel Dazzle stickers. Now we're going to deal with this side of the page. I've got a beautiful little horse, big horse, I suppose. And I don't really know anything about horses, but is that a palomino? You'll have to tell me in the paint horse. What's the difference? If anybody knows in the comments, what's the difference between a palomino and a paint? Let me know. And I'm going to need my little pokey tool. If you're having trouble with your sticker, just poke it, and then that'll get it separated. All right, so this one is much smaller, so easier to adhere than doing the full sheets like that. We've got another piece here that I cut around it, inked the edges brown, put little bits of foam tape just to kind of give it support on the back. You'll notice I did the bottom and then each one of these stalks. Okay, we can put that right there. And then this was a cool one, National Park Service. And this arrowhead shape I thought was really cool, and that can just go up here. Okay, so that was a really easy journal page to do. And then I've got this used sheet of little copper Jewel Dazzle stickers. Here's my jewel picker, which we absolutely love. You're just gonna kind of place it, and then you just kind of stir it on that sticker background until it lets loose the background. And then I like to put them in little groups of 3, like that. We can do some more over here. And I think just one more. There we go. So really simple way just to add a little sparkle to your pages. And then here you have lots of room for your journaling, okay? So that was a really easy junk journal page. All right, so you guys, we have a fantastic money saver on this. This is absolutely the coolest one. If you love Western things, if you love the TV show Yellowstone, these are phenomenal things to play with. Like I said, I'm not even particularly a Western girl, and I had a great time playing with this. So I'm going to leave this open. So we have a fantastic money saver. It's right there on the right-hand side if you're watching us on our Paper Wishes webisode page. And if you're watching us, and I can zoom out a little bit, and if you're watching us on YouTube, all you have to do is look below the video in the description box, and you'll see a link that will take you to this Paper Wishes webisode page. And you can take a look at that money saver. All the items that I used today, the inks, the dazzle stickers, they're listed down below the video, and there's full color photos of the projects. You can click on those photos and it will give you very detailed description about all the products that we used on each one of these projects. So definitely check that out. Our giveaway card right here, we do this every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday here at Paper Wishes. So all you have to do to participate is hop on over to our YouTube channel, which is called My Paper Wishes. And we're trying to promote our Paper Wishes YouTube channel. We ask that you subscribe. We ask that you like this video with a thumbs up, leave us a comment, and then after about a week, we'll reply, congratulations, YouTube username blank. Okay, and it'll have one of the viewers' YouTube usernames in there, and give them instructions on how to claim their card. If you don't know what your YouTube username is, just go back and look at your comment because it's labeled with your username. And yeah, we do this every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday videos, and we ask that, yeah, you participate. It would be really fun to send out these cards as giveaways. Thanks so much for joining me today, you guys. Don't forget about that money saver, and I'll see you in the next one.